Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Review. So today I'm going to carry on with the Iron Maiden deep cut review. So sorry about the room I'm in. This is actually the hallway because we've got visitors for the next month. So I'm going to be in here a lot. So never mind. It doesn't really matter where you are, does it, when you listen to metal? So like I said, we're carrying on with the Iron Maiden deep cut review. So we're up to somewhere in time, and I've had a few people saying what they think the song is going to be. Now I had a bit of difficulty with this one because I felt, even though this is still a good album, compared to what they had already done over the last three, for me it was a drop in quality for Maiden. You know, I know this is a lot of people's favourite album, you know, or it was right up there. But for me, it's definitely a drop in quality. I mean, I loved it at the time when it came out, and I think that was just right. I was riding a high off of, you know, Power Slave and the Live After Death album. But if you actually look at it now and listen to it with the rest of them, you know, them albums, my favourite albums, which are Peace of Mind, Power Slave, Number of the Beast, there's definitely a drop off in quality, without a doubt. This is where I think that Maiden started to, in my opinion, run out of ideas a little bit. But there's still some quality tracks on here. But when it's looking for a deep cut as such, it wasn't that easy because I wanted a track that I really liked. So there are, like, even some of the deep cuts on here I do like, but I don't really love, apart from the one I'm going to do. So I'm going to do Alexander the Great. So this is definitely a deep cut because I was reading about it and they haven't played it live. In fact, they played it once and it didn't go very well. Apparently it's quite difficult to play live. So they didn't play it again. And apparently a couple of years ago, Nico McBrain says he wants to include this in a Maiden set list. You know, it's one of his favourite songs. But it's definitely a deep cut because it wasn't a single. Played live once. It's quite a long song though, so it's about 8 minutes long. But for me, I probably think this is possibly my favourite song off the album as well as being a deep cut. So it's a result for me. So without further ado, because we've got 8 minutes to get through, and I will stop it halfway through. Ignore the cat, he's going to carry on outside because he's annoying. He has to be with me constantly. All right, so here we go. And Alexander the Great. I will stop it once halfway through.
My son, ask for thyself another kingdom, for that which I leave is too small.
I love these, when they do these quiet intros, it's just superb. Classic Iron Maiden gallop.
Now to the east, in a part of ancient Greece, in an ancient land called Macedonia, was born a son to Philip the Master. And legend is named
Quite heavy use of keyboards there.
King Darius the Third defeated Blade Persia. The Scythian sail brought a river to Candace. Then he did bow to the Muslim king as well. And he founded the city called Alexandria. By the time this river, he met King Darius again and crushed him again. And the battle of Arbela. And some Babylon and some treasures he found. To pass the bless the cattle of Persia. Alexander the Great, his name strengthened into hearts of men. Alexander the Great became a god amongst mortal men.
Let's just stop it there quickly because I know it's going to go into the guitar solo, but it's amazing how how heavy the keyboards are on this album. At the time, it didn't occur to me when I was a kid. And it's weird, isn't it? Because Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, the use of keyboards on there, or synthesizers, whatever you want to call them back then, I got a bit upset. I was like, oh my God, Iron Maiden are using it. But you don't realise that they, in this album, it sounds just as heavy. They're just as heavy on this, but wasn't realised by me at the time. It's a bit strange. This bit at the moment, shut up the cat, I mean, annoying. And as well, this bit as well is really like some odd time signatures on this bit here. Really progressive, this little bit here that's leading into the guitar solo. But I think I like this the most out of Somewhere in Time because it's got also got these old elements of Maiden in it. It's got the galloping riffs. It's the storytelling as well that they do so well. Although this sounds like it's basically read out of a really short. It's like, I know what it's about. It's about Alexander the Great, but it's like a really short history lesson, and it's just like it's read out of a book. It's a bit strange, but it's not. Doesn't, you know? It doesn't matter that it doesn't rhyme. It doesn't fit. It's just like from beginning to end what happened, and it's just like they're reading it out of a book. It's a bit strange, but it fits so well. Just shows what Iron Maiden can do, doesn't it? It's just it's mad, really. So let's just carry on now for the rest of the song until it ends. But the guitar solo coming out now, so. Sounds a bit Metallic-y there, a bit like Metallica, you know, that sort of guitar sound there. Love this bit, forgot about this bit. Bass from Steve Harris, wow. You really hear the bottom end of the bass there. Keyboards coming in again. Heavy use of keyboards. Progressive, really progressive. Clever. Still got that where it really can hear the difference in the guitar sounds. Dave Murray and Adrian Smith.
Frisian king around a chariot yoke, and Alexander cut the gods in knots, and legend said that who would tie the knot, he will become the master of Asia. Hellenism, he spread fire and wine, the Macedonian learned at mine. The culture was a Western way of life, he paved the way for Christianity.
Rhyme of Eight, the Ancient Mariner type of riff here.
The battle weary marching side by side, Alexander's army line by line. They wouldn't follow him to India, charge of the combat, paid the glory. Alexander the Great, his dead struck near into hearts of men. Alexander the Great, he died of fever in
Yeah, loved it. It's a bit strange, isn't it? You don't realise how progressive Iron Maiden can be. There's that part where it was breaking down just with Steve Harris and Nico McBrain playing the bass and the drums together and no one else. The odd time signatures that came just before the solo. You can see why it's difficult to play live. And one thing I've noticed with Maiden as well, apart from that, this was similar to the song I did the other day, The Duelists, with a massive midsection of instrumentals. You know, they really go for it, you know, before Bruce comes back in again. It goes on for ages. But I've noticed with all Iron Maiden songs, no matter how long they are, and that's an 8 minutes, 35 seconds, they just fly by because they're so interesting. They keep it so interesting. It's not the same thing all the way through. So many time changes that it could be like I said, 3 or 4 different songs. They really mix it up. It's brilliant, brilliant band. On one of my not so favourite albums though, that Somewhere in Time, you know, it was good, but it wasn't up there. I started to see a little bit of decline, I think, for me, for Iron Maiden. And the next album is Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. This wasn't, I didn't like this album at all when it came out. But now I've got real appreciation for this album. Not as much as Peace of Mind, Power Slave or Number of the Beast, but I've definitely got appreciation for it more than I used to. So I've sort of got a few ideas what to have off of that one, but please let me know what you think I should do, and I'll look at it and I'll make my decision, and you'll see it next time I do the Iron Maiden deep cut reviews. Right, cheers, and please subscribe. Red button bottom right hand corner. Thanks.